Hello, everyone. My name is Shantae Davis. I am a wife and mother of 5, and now I am a grandma. Shout out to baby Jason. Nona loves you. I met my husband in high school, and soon after we were having our first baby girl. So being a teen mom, needless to say, was very challenging and very discouraging. Not very much of a support system did I have. No one really believed that I would accomplish much. They didn't think that I was going to have any value to offer to others, and I was judged pretty harshly. So most of my life I struggled to find my place in this world. My husband had always believed in me, though. No matter what, he had always believed, and he knew that I was capable of doing some pretty great things. He was definitely my biggest fan. In 2005, my husband was given a year to live. He needed a heart transplant. He had a disease when he was a baby called rheumatic fever, and it attacked his heart muscle. So over the years, we would see him week in and week in, and anyway, we prayed to God every day, all day, for guidance and strength, and he was transplanted. So our prayers were answered, and he is doing great. Some of you have probably even seen him on some of the trips with me hanging out. He's such a moocher. But anyway, having that life-changing experience, it made me want more out of life. I knew that there was more for us as a family, more for me as a person. I was introduced to Scentsy back in 2011. It took me a few months to look at the product and fall in love with the company. I'd never heard of it before. So every month I just took a look at the new warmer and I smelled the new fragrance, and I was hooked, and I joined. And in my business, a little over a year, I was notified that I had earned the summer incentive trip, Can Do Cancun. I was one of the top 100 consultants with the highest point values in the company. So it was mine and my husband's first trip, our very first trip ever, our first honeymoon, our first time leaving the country. So finally it felt like I was actually doing something. I was accomplishing things. So in 4 years with Scentsy, I've earned 4 incentive trips, and I was able to take our oldest daughter, Aubrey, on the trip of a lifetime, all expense paid for 2 to Bahamas, Atlantis. Amazing. So now my husband and I are actually doing something that we never, ever thought in a million years that we'd be able to afford to do, and that's travel for free. I was asked to speak at Spring Sprint 2014 in Ontario, California. That was amazing. And then my sense of value was validated when Scentsy offered to feature me in this fall-winter 2015-2016 catalog. So I would just like to say thanks to Scentsy. You guys are giving this girl courage and strength and confidence that I never, ever, ever thought I would have. So talk about a life-changing experience. It definitely is. Next slide, please. So I want to give you a few do's and don'ts with your displays. So the first is don't clutter your display. You don't want it to look overwhelming. You don't want everything on top of each other. You want your guests, you want your hostess to be able to see everything. So, don't pile it on top. Just have a small display and make sure that it's kind of separate and you just leave room for everything. Do keep it simple. Don't have a bunch of stuff. You want your guests and your hostess to see your setup and say, that was really, really simple. I can do this. You don't want it to look like it's just too much to have to carry and bring in and set up and it's too complicated. Scentsy is very, very simple. Just keep it that way and you'll do great. And don't reinvent the wheel. There are so many resources and information in your workstation. Your workstation is powerful. I visit the workstation over, I don't even want to say, but probably over 10 times a day. And I'm scouring the news tab for updates and any changes. You don't have to be as ridiculous as I am with checking it, but Definitely dig in deep. You've got your resources tab, you've got your training center, and the Scentsy Family Store. There's products in the Scentsy Family Store that are just amazing. So you don't even have to look far for the items that you need. They're right there. Do turn on your warmer for lighting and fragrance. Our warmers create an awesome ambiance. Use them. Use them. They look amazing, smell amazing. Turn it on. As soon as you get to your party, get it going. Matter of fact, have your hostess go ahead and pop in a couple of cubes before you guys even get started. And then do brand yourself. Believe it or not, you are part of your display. So your hostess is watching you and looking at you. Your guests are as well. So you want to make sure that you throw on your Scentsy tee or pop on that Scentsy hat. Even the Scentsy flip-flops, I've worn those to parties, and they're like, oh, my God, those are so cute. They definitely notice you. So you are standing there. You're part of your display, and that's all. It all plays a very big part in your setup. Next slide, please. Okay, so do I have to spend a bundle of money on my display? No, If you look at the photos that are on this slide, these are photos from my very first harvest setup. I had very minimal product. I used candle holders. Mind you, this is from 2011. I used candle holders, and I wrapped a napkin around them. And for the cupcake one, I just have a ribbon tied around it. And then I threw some holiday ornaments and fall leaves that you can actually spray. If you get the fabric leaves, you can spray those with the scent of the month and just kind of lay them around. So they smell awesome. So those work great too. So you're going to use things that you already have at home. So seasonal confetti, boxes to give your display height, candle holders, kind of like what I did. And then just some holiday decor just kind of thrown around the table. And then just keep it simple. I cannot express to you enough how important it is to just keep it simple. For the newer consultants, use your kit. Use everything that came in your kit. That is really all you need. That's all you need, I promise. And you are going to have a successful party. Just use what you've got in your kit. Next slide, please. So making displays that pop. So these are not my photos, but I actually did the Scentsy sample bar. You want to make sure, right now, what's trending and what's popular is the chalkboard paper. Simple, easy, inexpensive, and doable. So if you look at those photos, you'll see that it's just chalkboard paper that's rolled across the table. You can actually get the chalkboard paper from any of your craft stores. It's really inexpensive. And just get a box of chalk. You can even get colorful chalk. And just separate everything on the table. And if you notice in this display, nothing's really on top of each other. Everything's spread out and easy to see. And that's what you want. The Scentsy sample bar. So when I did it, I actually used 6 different fragrances, not just 5. And I cut the bars into small little pieces. And I put them all in these little, I had mason jars. And I labeled them so they would know the fragrance. And I had little baggies. And I told them, help yourself, take a couple of each if you'd like. But I want you to try out these different fragrances. They're my 6 favorite. They may actually be yours too, but try them out. So basically try before you buy. And they absolutely loved it. So that was a really good turnout, and I will definitely start doing that, maybe not with 6. You can even use 3 different fragrances. Make sure that you do throw in the scent of the month as one of those fragrances. But yeah, that's basically it. Just make sure that you keep your displays clean and neat and open for everyone to see, and you are bound to have a successful party. Good luck.